Hello and welcome to the New York Baby Show. Hey guys, we are going to take a few minutes of your time today. We're going to learn, we're going to win prizes, we're going to have fun because that's what we do here. And I have great news. I don't have one certified passenger safety technician. I have two for the price of one. 2 car seat passenger safety technicians. BOGO! So, Julie, I don't know if you know, our Jewel is our resident car seat passenger, whatever. Got it. CPST, LMNOP.
Certified passenger safety, child passenger safety technician.
Yeah, also known as she knows the good car seat stuff. And we have Anna from Britax.
That's me.
See, Julie thinks she's the only one with the jingles. Hello, she's not. So I am actually going to turn the floor over to our child passenger car seat safety peoples. Whatever, guys, cut me some slack. That's a lot of words to speak. So I'm going to turn this over to them. We do have car seats to give away, but I want Jewel to do this with you because, hi, this is like what she does. And so, yeah, like, why did we pay for her that training? And why did she go for 19 years for that class, which felt like that, although I think it was only 5 days. So it was a long class. So without further ado, ladies, let's give away some stuff and teach us some things.
Hello, everybody. All right, so I am Julie from Twiniversity, and this is Anna from Britax, and we are going to talk about car seats. So if you have questions about your car seats, go ahead and you can start posting them if you like. But what we're going to really focus on today is the Essentials by Britax line, which is a fantastic new line. Can you guys hear? Thumbs up if you can hear, or give us comments saying, yes, we can hear you. We're in this big consumer show.
The baby show.
There's God. Hold on a second.
For the day.
God? Is that you?
Are you there, God? It's me, Julie. Tell me, what is there to tell us?
Yes, we're good.
I'm sorry, it's very
hear
confusing.
you.
That's okay. Going to say something or not? Just do it. Okay. Anyway, we're going to talk about the Essentials by Britax line. So what is this all about?
The baby show has officially closed for the day.
Oh, really?
Don't tell anyone we're still here.
Require that all guests
Security
exit the show at this
away.
time. Thank you.
We're not
thank
guests.
you.
We're media. We're allowed to be
That's
here.
all right, we're
We're
allowed.
not rule breakers.
They're with me. It's fine.
She's got our backs.
They're with
Okay.
me.
Anyway, as we were saying before we were so rudely interrupted by God, is that we are going to talk about the Essentials by Britax line. Now, what is Essentials? How is it different than regular Britax? Well, basically, it has all of the fundamentals that Britax offers, the amazing safety features, the awesome no-rethread harness, and a bunch of other stuff, but at a lower price point, so that it's more affordable, especially for the families who are buying more than one, like we always do. So Anna is going to take it away, and she's going to show us all the features of this convertible car seat. What is it called?
This is the Allegiance.
The Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the car seat of the United States of America. All right, go ahead, Anna.
Yes, so this is our new Allegiance convertible car seat. It goes rear facing from 5 pounds to 40 pounds, forward facing from 20 pounds to 60 pounds. It has amazing convenience features like our no rethread harness.
Ooh.
So you can pull that harness out, and as the child grows, move the headrest up. So the shoulder straps are always in the proper position, either at or below for rear facing or at or above for forward facing.
Anna, could you tell us what the difference is between the no rethread and other car seats that we may see?
Absolutely. So the no rethread harness makes it easy to adjust as a child grows. With a rethread harness, typically you have to take the harness out, rethread it back through the slots as the child grows, and typically you get less harness height positions as well. So typically with a no rethread harness, your child may fit better in those multiple positions as well.
Honestly, once your children are in a convertible car seat, you really want one with a no rethread harness. It's not as big of a deal in an infant seat, but they're gonna be in this convertible car seat for like 3 to 4 years, maybe even more if they're on the smaller side. So you're gonna go through like 5 to 6 or even more positions in that seat. So that's like a really important feature to have. So you don't pull your hair out every time your kids grow. You're gonna have to take this out of the car. You're gonna have to take the cover off, take the harness out, and rethread it through the plastic hoops. Then you have to do it again for the other guy.
Yes.
So it's a really important feature.
Please tell me that is click tight, someone said.
This is not. No.
Yes, this one is not a click tight seat. The click tight has stayed with our Britax line. The Essentials by Britax is a lower price point brand, so we can open up the doors to more consumers and be more price friendly to more consumers.
Yeah. So if you wanted to go the route of a Britax click tight, like the Marathon, for example, that would run you about $299. This one is at a $199 price point. So you're still getting some amazing features. Honestly, I have always had Britax. And my kids have been in the marathons that were before the click tight, and they have served us very well. So I really did miss the click tight. It's a really nice to have feature. It's a really nice feature extra to have, but it's not really a deal breaker. I think for $100 savings per seat, and I think especially if you have 2 cars and you're going to have to buy 4 seats, because really, who's schlepping the 2 seats from one car to another? Like, no way.
Could we just talk for 1 second? I'm going to interject too. I'm behind the mic, but I want to talk about why no rethread is more important for twin families, because I think people move the threads prematurely on one child because the other child may have needed that.
That is really a really good point, because, you know, once you're doing it, because like, oh, well, Jimmy, who is a little bit taller than Bobby, well, he needs to be 1 level up. But you know what? I don't want to take the time to go ahead and do it for Bobby when he's ready, so we're just going to do it early. It's not a good idea. When you're in a rear-facing position, the children have to have the harness at or below their shoulders. Once you turn the children around when they're forward-facing, the position has to be at or above their shoulders, but you want it to be just above their shoulders. You don't want it to be a lot above their shoulders.
You don't want the harness to be up at their ears. You want it to be just above.
Right.
Interesting. They love the color. Can we talk about the colors?
Yes, this is a beautiful color. There are tons of fashions on the Allegiant seats. Some fun fashions. There's some pinks, there's some purples, there's grays and blacks if you like more neutral. This fun blue, which is azul.
And ooh, that's Spanish for blue.
Yes.
Azul.
I
learned that from Dora.
Yeah, you can see all of our fashions on essentialsbybritax.com.
Well, how much fun would it be if you have boy-girl twins to get the blue one and the pink one, for example? Or vice versa. Maybe your boy likes the pink and your girl likes the blue.
Right.
Is that a waterproof pad?
It is not. So this is actually the newborn insert. So if you were to have a newborn child in there, it helps kind of boost their little bottoms up so they fit in the harness properly. We do actually sell a seat saver, which is a waterproof pad for the seat, and it has been crash tested, so you can use it with our seat.
Now that's a really important point. I'd like to discuss that just for a hot second.
Absolutely.
Okay, so there's a lot of aftermarket products that you can buy for your car. Now, should you buy them is the question, okay? So the official answer is that unless your car seat manufacturer puts out the product, you should not be buying it. So if you were to buy a Britax car seat, you should buy Britax rear view, like the mirror for the baby's
seat
seat.
protector.
The seat protector, the organizer, all of those were crash tested by Britax with their seats. Okay, so that's really what you want to do. And luckily, they came out with a bunch of new products.
We do. So it's important to note too, with all of our accessories, it'll tell you approved for use with Britax seats. So all of our accessories have been crash tested with our seats, so we know that they are approved to use, and they're not going to interfere with any safety performance.
Excellent. So
let's talk about the way. So this is from birth and up, right?
Yeah.
So we've already talked about that.
yeah, 5 pounds and up.
5 pounds and up. So,
Yeah.
so for 4 pounds below, we would go to your infant car seats.
Correct.
Okay, that's what we.
And what
are
is the
asking about.
limitation on the height and the weight on this convertible seat?
So the height on this guy is 49 inches or less. Seated shoulder height is going to be 18.65 inches on this guy.
So let's talk about at what point do you switch from a convertible seat to a booster or a high back booster? And should you keep your child in a harness high back booster, or should you go straight to a traditional booster?
So it all depends on their maturity level too, because there's not a set age that children can graduate into a booster seat. There's not a set age. It all depends on their maturity level and whether or not they can sit upright for the entire length of the car ride. They're not going to mess with the seatbelt. Get the people out again.
Security and safety regulations.
Stop talking to us.
The show at this time.
Yep, got it. You're welcome.
We got it.
Should you, okay, so hold on. We have another question. So finish my thought.
So it all depends on the maturity level as to whether or not the child is going to play with the seatbelt Are they going to tuck it behind them, tuck it under their arm? You know, those children should still be in those 5-point harnesses.
Yes, and they should meet at least the minimum weight and height for the high back booster.
Correct.
And we really recommend that you keep them in the harness as long as possible. You know, even if you do switch them to something like
our Frontier.
I feel like this might be a good transition over here. We want to show you guys the Frontier.
So this is
I love this car
big
seat.
kid mode right now.
So look, it's a booster, but it's got a harness. Yes. So you can transition from the harness to the regular seatbelt once they get a little taller.
Yeah.
So I love the seat. My kids have it. I have short kids. They're 5.5 years old, twins, but they're little. They've always been on the bottom end of the growth curve. So I'm keeping them in the harness really as long as I can. So, you know, there's really no rush for us to get out of the harness. And what I always think of is astronauts. The astronauts wear these harnesses.
Race car
drivers wear
harnesses.
harnesses. And really the safest way to travel is with a 5-point harness. Ideally, even adults would have them in the car, but it's not really realistic going in and out of the car. But it's best to keep them in a harness as long as they can. But once they have outgrown the height on the harness, you would then switch over to booster mode using just the your seat belts, your lap and shoulder belts.
Let's talk about this fabric.
So this is an amazing fabric, right? It looks really cool. It looks like mesh. So this is actually part of our brand new Cool Flow collection. So it is a ventilated mesh fabric to help increase airflow in those areas where the child gets the hottest. So right behind their back, behind their neck and stuff as well, just to help keep with that airflow so they keep a little cooler in those hot summer months that are fast approaching us. So I'm from the South, so it gets really hot and humid there really fast.
If your kids,
Yes. So do you move to the high back once you've reached the limit on the convertible?
You could go either way. I think as long as you are meeting the minimum of the high back booster with the harness, I think that you'll want to keep close attention to the car seat you're looking to move into. You do not have to leave the convertible car seat though. If you're like, the kids are liking it still, you know, it's still working for us, we haven't outgrown the height or the weight, you can keep them in that. Like my kids probably could have stayed in those convertible seats. It's just that Britax was great and was giving us some seats to use in a demo. So I would have kept them in that convertible car seat for a while.
They were talking, we have a great topic. Vanessa just said that, you know, your car gets hotter depending on the color of your car.
Yes.
And that it's something that you really may want to consider. If you have a dark colored car, it may heat up more. So items like this car seat may be more appropriate or, you know, a necessity almost if you're in a dark colored car.
Yeah, totally. And it is recommended, and it's actually in the owner's manual, which I read from front to back when I got these seats because I do the right thing now, that I'm official and I have to.
You read the manual?
Well, I was told by somebody that I should always read my car seat manual.
Always read your car seat manual.
Her name is Natalie D. I'm sorry. N. Diaz. I didn't want to give her away.
They love the holders.
Yes, cup holders. This bottle may not fit. It fits.
That's actually pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, my kids love these. So they've got their toys in one, they've got the cup holders in the other. They just freaking love it. They think it's like a spaceship. They love the arms. It's easy for them to get in and out because now that they're old enough to just do that all the time.
They don't have to climb over like a convertible.
And this is what I really love is that these then go over the arms and it's just so much easier.
Right.
It never gets tangled.
Okay, could we one more time? Let's talk about the graduation from infant to booster, high back booster. Go. We were having more questions about this. I think people are joining a little bit later. Okay. So let's just talk about where do we start? How do we progress? Go.
Okay, well let's go ahead and look over here at our infant seat. This is the Be Safe.
This is the Be Safe Ultra.
So ideally for twins, you would want to start with, you know, the bucket seat, the infant carrier. I'm sorry, I keep not looking at that. I keep looking at Matt. I want to make sure Matt understands. So starting with this is really ideal for twins because you're toting them around so much. It's a lot easier to have the carrier with you. So this carrier, this will last you from 4 pounds all the way up until, is it 35?
It's 35 pounds
35
or
pounds.
32 inches.
Or 32 inches. But at some point, it may get to just be too heavy. You might just be like, oh my God, my kid's way too much. Personally, I switched my kids at 11 months because I just didn't want to lift them anymore. I was like, I'm done. I'm so tired of this. So once I got to that point personally, and they were just getting a little big for them, I decided to graduate up to the convertible car seat, which is the one that can go rear facing.
This fabric, how do we clean this fabric, Anna?
So all of our fabrics are removable. Our fabrics are going to be a hand wash, spot clean only. You can put them in your machine in like delicate cycles, but air dry only.
Now,
They would never ever go in the dryer.
Why wouldn't you put it in the washing machine?
So, because our car seats are treated with flame retardants, because by law we have to, we actually have one of the lowest chemical concerns for flame retardants in our car seat. We're not completely flame retardant free, which we're hoping to be. So we're working on it, but they can't be washed because it can wash off the flame retardants.
So you would spot treat it and then always hang dry.
Yes.
Do not put it in the
Do not put it
dryer,
in the dryer.
because it'll probably not fit on the car
Yes.
seat. Okay.
And
So-
you can actually buy replacement covers.
Good.
So if you wanted to either change the color of your car seat, or you accidentally ruined yours, you need to buy a new one, you can buy a replacement cover directly through us.
Because you knew I thought about that after my kid puked all over it.
So I just want to ask you guys, for those of you that are watching out there, I am curious to know, how often are you guys washing your car seat covers? Are you washing them weekly, monthly? Do you wipe them down? Is it only when you have a stain? So give us some tips and tricks, because as a community, let's connect, and I want to see what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, I personally only wash it when I absolutely have to. There's so many little, goldfish crackers down in there. Anytime I even bring the car seat in the house, the dog goes insane. She's like, "Argh!" She shoves her little face in there and eats anything she can find.
The general
That's the way to keep it
consensus is when they're disgusting.
When they're disgusted, see, okay, I feel more
Sybil.
normal.
All right, so now we start out with the infant car seat,
Right.
then we graduate.
To our convertible car seat, which will go rear facing, so we can recline this back.
Let's talk about how to win those, maybe.
I'm sorry, what?
Let's talk about the whole winning process and what are we giving away. And
Oh, that's right. We've got prizes.
prize for you, prize.
So, what we decided is that one of you will win 2
What?
of one of the essentials of your choice. So, the Essentials by Britax line has the Allegiance,
The emblem.
the emblem. How is the emblem different than the Allegiance?
So the emblem is going to be one step up in that it has 2 layers of side impact protection. So it's going to have a structured head support that offers 2 layers of side impact protection. It does come at a little bit of a higher price point at $239.99.
Okay. All
So
right.
it's not a huge jump, but as far as the weight limits of the seat, they're going to be exactly identical.
And then you also have a high back booster in the Essentials by Britax line called the
Skyline.
The Skyline. It
Which
is
is-
not here right now.
My favorite part about that is it's a $99 price point.
Oh, that's
$99.
awesome.
And it
And
has-
it's a harness to booster, right?
No, it's just a regular high back booster.
Just a regular high back,
Yeah.
so there's no harness.
No harness.
So that would be something that you would want to purchase once your children are really tall enough to meet the requirements for the seatbelt.
Yes.
And the maturity level.
maturity
because that's
level.
something
That's
that
a
isn't really
huge
talked
thing,
about
yes.
much, is that, maybe you have a kid that's really squirrely, that loves to push buttons on the elevator, that would probably take off their seatbelt
They like
if
to
you
lay
put
down
them in
like
a
this
booster.
in the car.
Yeah, they know they like leaning against the wall. By the way, that's another thing that it doesn't get talked about a
Yeah.
lot, is that when I was in training, they said make sure that you're telling families that their children should not be sleeping against the door of the car, because in a crash they could get seriously injured.
Right.
And so, a lot of kids in their booster seats slump over to the side. So doing anything you can to kind of prop them up, or encouraging them if they are going to sleep to kind of go to the inside of the car as opposed to leaning against the door.
When we buy these seats and we are using them as a rear facing, and then we're going to convert to the forward facing, once again, remind us when and how to do that.
Sure. Well, you want to go until at least 2 years of age. That would be the minimum that is suggested by the American Academy of Pediatrics very strongly, is to, really the real answer is at least age 2. But really, as long as you
Possibly
can,
can.
as long as you can, as long
You
as
paid
you
all
want
this
to.
money for the seat. Like, get the maxes out of your seat. Max out the weight. Max out the height. Either one of those. Like, don't skimp and graduate your child early to a forward-facing stage.
Now, rear-facing is the safest way to ride for anyone, really.
If we could, we would.
Right, like this.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
But somebody's gotta drive the car.
reason why we rear face our children is because of their fragile necks. So when babies are born, their necks are very weak. They have very little muscle tone. So if a baby were to be forward facing in a crash, they would go like this, and their necks would snap essentially. Many babies do. This happens. Some people don't know they're supposed to rear face, and a lot of children die this way. So that's why it's so important to rear face, because then when the crash in a collision, all of the crash forces go backwards, and the child's head is cradled in the seat. Okay, so that's really important. So when you use a rear-facing seat, you won't need to use the back tether. So there's this thing on the back called a tether, okay? We only use this in the forward-facing position, though, okay? Because when the seat is rear-facing and there's a crash, the seat goes like this. And we want there to be a little bit of a give. There needs to be a little, even if you've got a seat that has one of those bars, what do we call them?
The load leg?
The load leg. The load leg has a little bit of a spring action to absorb some of those crash forces. So we need a little bit of rebound right there. And then the baby comes back and they're nice and safe, right? But then once they're switched to forward facing, which is something that you do when you feel like you're ready, at least 2 years of age, you must use the back tether.
Every time.
Every time. And here's the thing is a lot of people complain that like, oh, well, I can't use the back tether because there's no tether point in my car for the place where I want the car seat to be. Well, number one, just put it where the tether point is, or if you're really headstrong and you're like, no, we really need it, or maybe you just have so many kids that you really need more tether points, go to your car dealer. You need to talk to wherever you bought your car, or go to the dealer of wherever, like if you're a Ford or wherever, go there and say, I need you to install more tether points into my car. They will do it. They will fit it retroactively. You can do that on any car.
Now, Anna, what are some of the other accessories that you would have? Like, we were talking about other travel accessories. So if we're traveling with our Twinnies and traveling through the airport with our car seats, our convertible car seats, what options do we have for travel?
One really fun option that I love is this amazing travel cart. So it just looks like a basic little hand truck almost. But what I can do is I can actually attach my car seat, and you can use the lower anchors to secure it on. But then my child can actually ride in their car seat, and I can wheel it through the airport, take it on board with me, and then the little cart actually will fold up and fit in the overhead compartment, which is even better.
Oh, I love it.
How much is that?
It is $79.99.
Now, does that work with other car seats?
It
Not
does.
Britax.
So yeah, it's actually a universal travel cart. So even if you have one of our competitors, I don't know why, but
Why would you do that?
why would you do that? You can use it with other brands as well.
Okay, can we talk about the latch system for a hot second?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what a lot of people don't know with the latch system is that there's a weight limit on using those latches, on the using the lower
These little
anchors.
guys.
Okay, so typically the weight limit is car seat plus child equals 65 pounds.
Correct.
Okay, so if that total goes over 65, you must stop using the lower anchors. You know, latch stands for lower anchors, tether, children. I don't know, something like that.
Two car seat specialist technicians, professionals in one.
I know, right? So what you then will do is use your lap and shoulder belt in the back seat of your car to thread through the back here.
Give us the weights again.
But then you would still use the back tether, and the tether is really important to keep the seat connected to your car.
The top tether can actually help reduce head motion by 4 to 6 inches. So when you're
that's a big
talking about your
difference.
little one, 4 to 6 inches is huge.
Yeah.
So the lower anchor weight limit, 65 pounds, combined weight of seat plus child.
Yeah, so it's typically around when your child hits about 40 pounds, but you'll definitely want to check your car seat manual. We're going to do the giveaway now?
So, no, let's say we have a secret, unexpected giveaway. We're also, tell us, Anna.
We are also throwing in a travel cart. So the winner will win 2 car seats and 2 travel carts. So you're ready for your next summer family vacation to Disney or wherever you go.
Guys, are you excited about this giveaway? Because, you know, we always have some good ones. This one might be like an exceptional one. Is that the Love Connection song, guys?
No, it's Price is Right, right?
Oh, I don't think that's it.
I was going to look up Love Connection last night on YouTube. I forgot.
What is that? So, what was Sale of the Century? Remember that? So how do you guys feel about this giveaway? And now, Jules, how do they win this?
You are going to say, so are we going to do it all together, 2 seats and 2 carts, or are we doing 2 separate winners?
2 separate winners.
Okay, so
Let's
we'll do, to win 2 of the Essentials by Britax seats of your choice.
Yes.
You're going to say,
I want the Allegiance in Azul.
Okay, we're just going to say something simple.
Yes.
I love Britax. That's it. That's all you got to say is I love Britax.
Gotta make it easy.
Gotta make it easy.
Gotta make it easy so people can remember. Type it quick
There
on
you
their
go.
phone. I love
I
Britax.
love
All right.
Britax.
So you're gonna do I love Britax. Nat's gonna pick a winner, I think.
We are actually going to leave this open for a little bit of time for the people that I know. I just feel bad, like people may be feeding their babies right now and missing it. So we really do want to give our community an opportunity to win. So while we are not giving it away live, you will have the same opportunity as long as you comment I love Britax right below. We're going to leave it open for around 24 hours, and then we will pick our winner tomorrow and make the big announcement. Maybe we'll even make the announcement live at this time tomorrow.
And if you want to win the what do you call the little
travel cart?
The travel cart. If you want to win
Vacation.
what?
They have to say I need a vacation.
Yes. If you want to win the